Take it away, girl.
Well, hello. I am excited to train on the concept of a sip-in style. It's something that my team and I came up with together when we got together and decided, okay, let's look at this a different way. Let's look at this beyond the traditional in-home show. Let's pretend that Park Lane hired us to market the jewelry in our area. What do we want to do? And through this course of brainstorming and reading a book called Contagious and studying up on marketing, we decided that when we were just asking family and friends or people that we ran across to have in-home shows or to let us show them their jewelry, that we were letting those individuals that we already had relationships with determine our future. And one of the examples that I use is that I used to sell steel, yes, heavy metal. I used to sell steel, and I actually got them laughing because I said, did you know in the whole time that I sold steel that not a single family member bought a single piece of steel from me? And everybody laughs, and I said, but think about it. I still had to find the clientele. Where did I find the clientele? I found out what kind of people need steel. So we need to find out what kind of people need fashion. What kind of people are in the fashion business? What kind of people will be drawn to our jewelry? There are so many more than what we have directly in our circle, and we need to go out and find them. And we came up with the concept of the sip-in style. What it is an opportunity to ask women who love fashion to come and welcome Park Lane to the area. And even though Park Lane has been around 60 years, and even though I know it's been going great guns, at least for the 5.5 years since I've been there in St. Louis, we still do it as an opportunity to welcome Park Lane to an area. So we pick strategic areas. So depending on what your particular state or the way that it's all situated, I know with ours in Missouri, we have a lot of East County, West County, South County, North County. So we would specifically pick venues in a certain area where we wanted to target that area. And this is going to sound pretty simplistic, especially to leaders, but I'm only saying it to you because it happened within my own group, even with people like senior divisions that I thought would know better. And you have to actually train on the fact that if somebody lives in, like, let's say, an hour away from someplace where you're going to have a sip-in style, that doesn't mean that they automatically excuse themselves from the event. You actually have to train people, even senior divisions and higher, train them that it's their job to go out and find people in that area to invite to this sip-in style. So I want to make sure you don't make the same mistakes we did, because it's as easy as going on Facebook and saying, who knows somebody that lives in blank town? Or I'm looking for connections in this town. Who can recommend somebody? I'll give you free jewelry or whatever. So we would pick specific areas, and then we would choose specific venues, and venues that in and of themselves were kind of a draw. You know, like I love to say this one because all I have to do is say the name. The Chocolate Factory, come on, everybody wanted to go there. We would pick wine and cheese places. One of our favorites, and these are all over because I go all across the country and do these, and there's all kinds of little places that have popped up around the country that's their main thing. That's their gig. They like sell wine. And you can go in at any time, and they'll do tastings for you, and they'll give you recommendations, and then you can settle on a bottle of wine and buy it and take it out of the store. Well, these particular places just love us. We would go in and we would talk to the owners. We would work out a deal. They would maybe charge us $50 to put out cheese and crackers and serve wine the whole night, and we would take over the joint. And, of course, other customers were coming in while we were doing this, but that was all well and good. So they love it. So hopefully this is getting your mind buzzing about all the different kind of places you would do. Then what we did, we picked a place, and then we picked a target audience. And then we would actually send, and this is up to you because over time we've changed the way that we did this, but at that time when we first started, we would send really beautiful invitations. Invitations like you would use for a bridal shower, you know, like little ribbons on them and the whole bit. And we would have on the invitation, please come and help us welcome Park Lane Jewelry to the area. Jewelry giveaways and fashion tips being shared by stylist Mary Grace Lewandowski. however you want to word it. You and a friend are cordially invited. Please RSVP. And then we would follow up. So we might send out 100 invitations. We would only have a spot for 20. So we would follow up and actually take the reservation. And we had a lot of really fun things happen, like people saying, oh my gosh, the girls at work know I'm going to this. Is it okay if I bring 2 friends? And we'd be like, oh, well, okay. So it really was by an invitation only, because so few people get things in the mail anymore. That was really a pretty powerful way to invite them, and it set us apart as classy. Then the actual sip and style, we would either split the cost of it, like maybe it would be in, people can do it, you do whatever you want to do with this as far as your budget. There's no hard and fast rules. I personally believe sometimes in spending money to make money. And what I would say to someone is, if you, and Tom, I guess you can talk to me, if you were going to spend $100 to partake in a vendor fair, and you knew that you were going to stand there all day for 8 hours, and I could guarantee you that at the end of that day you would have like 6 bookings, would you do it?
In a second, yes.
Right. So that's what I say to, my fellow leaders. I'm like, let's say it's going to cost us $200 to do this event, and we're going to split it between 5 of us. Would you spend $40 a piece to know at the end of this event that you're going to walk out of there with bookings and recruits? So sometimes you just have to put it in language that they understand, but also if people are just really hesitant to do something like that, then we'll sell raffle or we'll find a way. But we do mostly make it about the people so that they're actually coming for free wine and cheese. Maybe one glass of wine, maybe a signature drink, but something where they are being wined and dined. Sets us apart, makes us really classy. Okay, they can go around, and then the first 45 minutes or first half hour, all we do is schmooze. And I even train my leaders how to do that. Go around, talk to people, compliment them, thank them for coming, ask them what they do, ask them who invited them. Just, be a host, be a hostess. And then what we do is we just draw everybody together, and I take about 20 minutes to share fashion tips. Really what it is in essence is it's a really quick, showing. And some of the words that I use, and I can put them all on paper and put them on some kind of document, but I use the word ambassador. And I said, we invited you here tonight. Tonight is all about you. We wanted to introduce you to Park Lane Jewelry. And we wanted to ask you to be ambassadors for our company. And there's several different ways that you can be ambassadors for our company. And then I go into, one of the ways is by wearing our jewelry. And I'll say, now let me show you how you can wear some of our jewelry. And that's where I call up a couple people, do some of the fashion tips that we do during shows, showing them how a long necklace draws the eye down, makes you look taller, takes off 10 to 15 pounds. Talk about, the different trends that are in right now. And then from there, I'll just kind of go into the next little ambassador thing. I'll say, now another way that you can be an ambassador for our company is to get out there and talk about our sale. We have a phenomenal customer sale. This is absolutely going to knock your socks off. Listen to how our customer sale works. And then I'll talk about our customer sale. And their eyes are getting big, and they're seeing how wonderful. And I go, isn't this like when you go to Kohl's and you have to call your girlfriend from the parking lot to tell her to get down here? They're having buy one, get one free, and everybody's nodding. And I go, that's how people feel about our customer sale. I started this job at the height of the recession, and people said they didn't feel like they were asking their friends to spend money. Far from that. They felt like they were inviting their friends to a really great sale. Then I will smoothly grab a couple more people, do a couple more fashion tips, and then I'll say, now another way that you can be an ambassador for our company is to share what we will do when you help us meet other people to whom we can show our jewelry. And I'll say, we do in-home shows, but what we really are is personal stylists. And we carry this little bag around. So we can go anywhere. We can go to a high top at happy hour. We can go to a table at Starbucks. We can go right on your desk after work. I said, it is a portable business. And I said, and you guys know because you're fashionable, right? And I'm nodding here, and they're nodding back at me. And I'll say, jewelry shows pretty in a book, prettier in real life, but prettiest of all, on a body. You truly would never buy jewelry from the Internet. You truly can't buy jewelry from a book. You have to try your jewelry on. And what better forum than have a personal stylist that's going to be there facilitating for you and sharing our customer sale while you get to play in the jewelry. And if you're a person that brings this group of people together for us, we're going to reward you. And here's what we're going to do for you. And then I go through the hostess program quickly. And I talk about, a thank you gift. And then I talk about the $20 free per order and how when you have 10 orders, we double it. And one of my favorite things to say, and one of my favorite ways to put that into play is to say, now, I just want you to think about this for a second. Don't you think between the two of us, and I'll pick someone out in the audience and I'll just motion between the two of us, don't you think between the two of us that we could collect 10 $20 orders? And I wait, and they always say yes. And I go, now I want you to think about that. That's a $200 sale for Park Lane and a $200 sale for me. But we're going to give you $400 in free jewelry, plus the thank you gift I mentioned. We're already up to $500 for free jewelry. That's 250% hostess credit. Why do you think we're willing to do that? And they look and they wait, and I go, because what's going to happen when you go out into the world with all that jewelry on? This is another really powerful way that you can be ambassadors for our company. And tonight, I'm going to do something really special for you because I want to jumpstart this area. This is a target area. So that's when I may have some sort of drawing, and Scott especially wanted me to share this. I may take an item that I just noticed was really getting some good response from the people. So let's say I hold up a sateen necklace, and I go, this retails for $99. And I'll say, and I'll look at the person who helped me facilitate it, and I go, looking around this room, how many personal appointments or private showings would really make you happy? And she'll give me a number, like 10. And I'll say, okay, here's the deal. If 5 people in this room decide to have their own personal showing or private appointment and book it with your fashion director tonight, then I'm going to do a drawing for one of these necklaces, and one of the 5 is going to win it. If 10 of you do, then I'm going to do a drawing for 3, and 3 people are going to win it. And if 15 of you do, all 15 of you are going to get one of these necklaces. Now, if you real quickly do the math between you and your other fashion directors, you did $300 orders with your 14s and frees, you're going to make 50 back. It probably came out to about $100 to give away 15 necklaces and to have 15 bookings. And it's really, really fun because then you start egging the people on. Like you start taking, you give everybody a ticket, and they go in the ticket. You start counting the tickets. And what I've always loved is those last couple that we might eke out that we never would have gotten if we hadn't done that little contest. And I always look at the bartender or the waitress, and I go, you count, and they're like, so we get people like that to do it too. And then lastly, I'll go into another way you can be ambassador for our company is anytime that you're new to an area, you need extra help. We need to hire. And that's when we'll pass out like the referral pages, the referral, what am I trying to say, Tom? The referral rewards, yes.
Referral rewards, yes.
Yes, referral rewards. I've been authorized to give $50 in free jewelry if you refer somebody and we interview them and decide that they're a good match for Park Lane. And I'll say, and you can even refer yourself, which you absolutely should. I said, this is seeing if you're going to be a good match for Park Lane. It isn't saying sign me up tomorrow. And I said, but it's a wonderful opportunity, and all of you are professional. I can tell by looking at you. I'm sure you're like me, that you're never going to let an opportunity pass you by without checking it out. So we do the referral. And then I said, tonight is all about you. We wanted to wine and dine you. We wanted to introduce you to the jewelry. We want you to have so much fun and to go ahead and play in the jewelry. And then, that's pretty much how we wrap it up. We might do raffle, a couple giveaways. But we found that we have been able to reach an audience that we wouldn't have been able to reach just strictly through the avenues that we used to use. But we found by hosting this Sip and Styles, not only has it gotten us into a different audience, it's helped us to invite people that we didn't know. Like, we would go into the owners of boutiques and stuff that were in the area, invite them to come over. And it's also proved to be a wonderful training opportunity. So when I go into any new area, rather than training them on what to do at shows they don't have yet, I found that when I'm able to work with groups this way, we're leaving with activity. We're leaving with shows. We're leaving with recruiting leads. And they still were able to get trained because they got to see how I handled the people, the words that I used, and all of that good stuff. So it's kind of been just a wonderful opportunity to just grow the business. Now, when we do sip and styles, we generally have chosen not even to allow them to buy that night. It also, we play hard to get. So we really play hard to get. We let them see it. We let them try it on. We let them book their own private appointments. We let them have wish lists, but we're not there to sell to them. Again, you can tweak this and do anything you want with it. Some people have chosen to turn it into a buying event as well, and that's up to you. But I wanted to give you just a general outline of what we did in our area and what I go into different areas and do, and how it right away sparks a lot of activity, a lot of conversation,